New Blazer mod from Fair RC. Today we're checking out the brand new Way Cool McCue Edition FMS FCX24 Blazer from Fair RC. So Fair RC has teamed up with William McCue, one of the leading manufacturers in quality 3D printed parts and upgrades for our mini crawlers, to give us this Way Cool McCue Edition. This new mod is available in 3 different packages. I'm going to go over what comes in each one, what are the upgrades that you get, also how this differs from the original FMS K5 Blazer, and then we're going to put it on the course and see how it performs. We're definitely going to hit the rocks with it too. Got to get this beautiful body out in the sun so you guys can see the color of this thing. So let's get into it. Let's jump in and check out the upgrades on this thing. First off, let's talk about the packaging. So Fair RC does a great job with their packaging and their branding on this thing. This is my first Fair RC mod vehicle, and I'm really impressed with how they package it. It really makes you feel like you've got something special. You know, they've done a really good job with the box. The shipping box that it came in also had the Fair RC Mods logo all over it. It's got me really pumped when I saw it come in the mail. So I really like the packaging. They've done a great job with building the anticipation even before you even open it. When you do open it, you get the Blazer, and depending on which package that you got, you would get a box full of parts. Now, I mentioned that this comes in 3 different packages. There's the A, B, and C package. This one here is the C package, which includes all of the upgrades that are available for this mod. So we've got the zero depth interior, we've got the custom paint, we've got the wheels and tires, we've got the swivel gate with the jerry can, upgraded shocks, linkage, servo horn, and steering linkage. Now in the 3 different packages, you get varying combinations of those modifications, but I'm going to show you all of them on this build, and then I'll show you exactly what comes in which package and for what price. So first thing with this mod, the most striking thing is the body. So you get the hard body that comes with the FCX24 Blazer, but they've given us this custom paint job on it. It has this glossy red, metallic red, and it was advertised as black, but it's more like a metallic graphite, and it looks fantastic. Out in the sunlight, the flake in this paint and the way that the black, kind of graphite black looks against the red, it looks great. I love the paint on this thing. They've done a really good job with the paint. Inside the body, it's a little tricky to see, but we've got a zero depth interior. We've got a 3D printed interior from McCue. Zero depth means that it's just a flat plate across the bottom, so it doesn't impact any of your electronics or how the body fits. But if you look through these deeply tinted windows, you can see the seats, you can see the dash and the steering wheel. Some good details in there. Coming around to the back, there is a swivel bumper, so we get this 3D printed bumper with the mount underneath here. It also has the trailer hitch, which is pretty cool. We get the swivel bumper, so it has this pin. Pull the pin out, bumper swings out. Now the gate itself doesn't open or anything like that, but you do just have this functioning gate feature here. We get a full-size spare. We get the steely wheel and the tire on here. Speaking of tires, let's take a look at these. So these are Batrazi upgrades. So Fair RC has partnered with Batrazi as well to give us a suite of upgrades on this truck. My first time encountering the Batrazi upgrades, and I'm pretty impressed with them. The tires themselves, these are Mud Pro X 1-inch tires. They've got a really nice soft feel to them, almost like a Super Swamper type tread. Dimensions on these tires, these are a 60mm tire by 24.5mm wide, I believe. So they've got a really nice scale look. They're not a huge tire. You're not going to run into any clearance issues or anything like that. They've just got a nice kind of old school mud tire look to them. They fit the build really well. Those are mounted on these stamped steel wheels. Now I really like the wheels. You know, if you followed me for a while, you know I'm a big fan of the steely wheels. And these are great for a couple different reasons. One is that you retain that functionality if you wanted to flip these around. I believe these are a 4-piece wheel. So if you wanted that deep dish on the outside, I believe, I haven't done this myself, but it appears that you can flip the hub around. You can get that deep dish look on the outside and gain some width. But one of the key features that I really like about these wheels over all of the other stamped steel wheels that I've encountered is that the screws on the inside are spaced out enough so that there's no clearance issues with the wheel nut. So if you've ever run these wheels, you've probably run into the situation where it's really difficult to get your tool, your driver in there to get the nut out. And sometimes with the FCX24, for example, the wheel nut is so big that you often run into clearance issues in general with the screws. So these are nicely spaced. You're not going to have any interference. They fit the build really, really well. So I actually really dig these wheels. Inside the wheel wells there, if you can see that, we've got Batrazi oil-filled shocks at all four corners. Now these come oil-filled. They do a good job of taking the bounce out of these stock shocks. These are coilovers, and they do have the adjustable preload adjustment on here. So aside from the damping that you get from the oil in the shocks, you can also adjust your stiffness with the preload adjustment. They give you one set of stiffer springs, and in hindsight, when I was building this, I would have put the stiffer springs in the back. I've used my preload adjustment to give the back a little more stiffness, but it still sags a little bit with this heavy rear tire on here. So in hindsight, I would have put the stiffer springs in the rear. But quality shocks, very nice look and feel to them. They perform excellent out on the trails. Underneath, we've also got Batrazi aluminum high clearance links. Now you just get the lower links only here. You do not change out the upper links, but you get these nice red anodized high clearance lower links. Coming around to the front, we get an aluminum anodized steering linkage, which is fantastic because that's one of the first things I always recommend replacing on the FCX24. Get rid of that rubbery stock steering linkage. So this really tightens up the steering, gives it a much more positive feel, better control. And you also get the aluminum servo horn as well. So this is a nice set of functional upgrades as well as aesthetically pleasing. The drivetrain and the rest of the truck has remained unchanged. You still have all of the great features that come on the FCX24 Blazer. The truck comes ready to run. You get your typical kit of accessories. It comes with the 2S LiPo battery. We get a charger. We get the roll cage with the non-functional light bar. You get some extra license plates. Fair RC does give us a pretty robust sticker sheet as well. I'm shocked that my son hasn't pilfered this yet. With the Batrazi upgrades, depending on which package you get all of these mods here in a separate box. And you also get this kind of keyring multi-tool that comes with it, which is pretty cool. That's one thing I do want to mention. When you get the Blazer, it comes with the extra accessories in a separate package. So you get the Blazer itself. It has the zero depth interior installed. Mine came with the wheels and tires installed, but the shocks, steering linkage, horn, high clearance links, bumper, all of that I had to install myself, which is totally fine. So depending on the package that you get, you'll have a separate box within the container that this ships in that will have your additional upgrades included. So those are pretty much all the features that you get. Now let's talk about the packages. So in package A, you get the custom paintwork and you get the zero depth interior, and that's at a price point of $159.99. Package B, you get custom paintwork, zero depth interior, you get the Batrazi wheels and tires pre-installed, and that's at a price of $169.99. Now the fully loaded package C, which is what you see here, you get the custom paint, you get the zero depth interior, you get the wheels and tires pre-installed, you get the oil-filled shocks, you get the linkage components, steering and suspension, you get the swivel bumper with this full-size spare and the jerry can. All of that you get for $199.99. So now that we've gone over the upgrades and we've checked out the truck itself, why don't we hit the performance table? I just want to see, just for the heck of it, what these mods have done as far as performance goes, and then we'll hit the indoor course to check it out. Okay, first up, let's check out the RTI. I think we're right about 15.5 on the RTI. Now for the side hill. Now, I'm not expecting big numbers out of this just because of how the Blazer is built and how these mods have kind of distributed the weight. So let's just do this just for the heck of it and to see how it does. $40. $45. Just about 45, maybe 46 on the side hill. Now the vertical. I think this is where it's really going to get hurt with these mods, with that bumper and tire on the back. 40. Starting to lift already there. 45. Over at 45. It's resting on the rear bumper and tire right now. So 45 on the vertical. So here we are on the 4-corner scale. Check out our weight. So we've got a backwards bias. See if I can get this in here. So we've got 41% front, 59% rear. This is with the battery in it. Total weight 655, almost 656 grams. Here we are on the course with the Blazer. Now, after those setup table results, I'm just going to do this for fun. Although I do know with that weight distribution now, if I want to get good performance, I could probably just run it in reverse. Joking aside, looks great. I just love the paint on this. I almost wish the windows were not so blacked out so that I could see that interior a little bit more. I do dig the tinted windows though. With the FMS FCX24, we get that great slow crawl. The ESC on this, although a little bit whiny, is still great. And with the 2-speed transmission and that 130 motor, we get great slow crawl out of this thing. And we still get the 2-speed, the higher gear, grounding out there a little bit, for a lot of fun out on the trails. So just really dig the FCX24. Oh man, I'm hanging up already big time. Gotta be real careful on these sections because the top heaviness and the weight distribution, I don't want to go off the edge. Portal axles helping us get over that tricky section. I'm hung up. Maybe totally stuck here. See if we can get up the canyon. Oh, I don't know. That might be it. I don't think it's going to get up there without help. Hand of God action up on top, and then we can check it out. Pretty composed on the downhill. These Petrozzi shocks are doing a good job. It's really composed. And the hard body and the weight up top, it's not rolling around a whole lot. Now that I see this out running around on the course, I almost wish it had bigger tires. These 60mm tires, they look great on here, and the profile of the tires looks great on the build. I just wish they were a little bit bigger. I think would fill those fender wells a little bit more and look nicer, but they do look good, I gotta say. I don't know how much we're going to be able to do on Mini Moab here. I might just go across, try to go through the hot tub, maybe try a little side hill, because I don't think we're going to go up the escalator much. Oh no! We go across to Rocker Knocker. It's a section I don't do very often. Boy, all that weight in the back. Oh, oh no. So hardcore rock crawler it is not, but it definitely looks fantastic. I think this would be much better off out on the trails, some more overland style terrain. So why don't we do that? Why don't we go hit the trails? I got a cool section in mind to go try this thing out with, and we'll go see it in all its glory out in the sunlight and see that body shining. So as you can see from that run footage, the Blazer is much more at home on the trails and in more flat terrain. It did a great job out on that trail. Even in the really kind of rocky, undulating terrain, the portal axles and the relatively heavy weight of this truck did really good out on those rocky sections, and the 2-speed transmission of this thing just makes it super fun to just blast down flat, smooth stretches. I'm really impressed with the upgrades that you get with this thing, the Batrazi shocks and the tires and wheels. They all seem to work really well, and I love how the whole package comes together. The metallic red and that graphite black paint out in the sun looks so good. So I think Fair RC really did a great job with this mod, and it's great to see an independent producer of parts like McCue team up with a distributor like Fair RC and create something unique and cool like this. I think it's just a really great partnership, and I love to see it in the industry. Hopefully this is the first of many that we see like this. I'll put the links down in the description for this truck. Remember, it comes in the 3 different packages. The top of the line, which is the one that we had here today, is only about $50 more than the base FCX24 Blazer that you get from FMS. So there's a lot of value here, I think, with these added upgrades. But again, I'll put the link down below for Fair RC where you can check these out. And also let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of the way cool McCue FCX24 Blazer? And as always, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next video.